Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Saurabh.
So today we are here on a virtual meet, having this interesting picture perception and discussion test, which is usually conducted in SSB interviews. So I would like to know one thing that since we have like 8 members, so we have two options. Either we can show individual pictures to this. To all of the 8 members, and they will frame different stories, like each picture one picture one member. That is first option. And then if time will be left, we can have second round, in which we can select three of the speakers who spoke good in the first round, so by voting. So that is the first way in which we can have today's session. And the second way will be to divide each of the members, like 8 of the members, in two teams of four members. And as usual, we can have one winner from each of the team, and then we can have second round in other way. So which would be better, first option or second? First, okay. Okay. First. Right, good. Okay, let's go with the first one. So here are the few instructions. So as you all know, you will be given a picture with a serial number. Now, one by now you will start narrating stories, and 1 minute time will be given to you for the narration. If you want, you can extend, like today, that 1 minute time will can be extended to 1.5 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds. And you can keep your video on while narrating. Group member, or we will select three of the participants who narrated best stories in first round. And then if time will be left, we will have second round in same way. And as a note, after picture will be shown, you will be given 15 seconds to prepare your story. You can after 50 seconds you will be asked to narrate your story. So today, since we are having this English exclusive, but today is Hindi Divas also. So I am giving you guys privilege to frame stories in Hindi also. So you can frame story either in English or in Hindi. So I guess instruction is clear. If anyone has any doubt, or if anyone isn't able to understand, you can ask. Okay, it's third time, so pretty okay. Okay, so here are few tips. For as the photo is hazy, it's not very clear. As you can see this picture, it's not a very clear picture. So you can concentrate on two things. That is this backgrounds and this men. That is this main character of the story. And then you can divide your story into two parts. That is background, explaining the character, what led to the picture, what is the possible outcome. As you can see, like who is Vimal Gupta, and then what does this picture shows, and then the ending. So in that way we can do that. And then it is an unsaid rule in SSB that you have to provide names to the character in picture for better remembrance. You can choose names familiar to you, and we know all the names which are familiar to us, like Rahul, Simran, all this. Make the story realistic one, because anything that sounds impractical would be just very ingenious. And then for better perspective, you can imagine yourself in that picture. Like here you can imagine yourself sitting in this chair, and then think what you will think if you were in this position, so in that way. And then try to frame story in past tense, just like this example Vimal Gupta was and all this. So we can try framing story in past tenses. Always provide a happy ending, and make sure to frame a positive storyline, because in SSB PPDT sessions they will always show you negative pictures, and you have to somehow convert them into positive ones. And just as an example, we can see this picture, and then we have the opening like Vimal Gupta, the story. You can frame the story in this way, like Vimal Gupta was appointed as new library in charge of EPS Gwalior after he noticed that books in the library were of old edition, and students were not using the books properly. They were dirty, torn, all these things. This made him feel terrible. He thought of solving the problem. With the help of students, he gave the suggestions of new books to the school principal, and then also class during the classes he told the students about the importance of books, and warned them not to write anything in the books again. And later many new books came, and Vimal saw an increasing interest of students in the books and was happy. And this is the happy ending that I was talking about, and this whole story leads towards something positive. That is why it is a positive storyline. So okay, uh, if anyone still has any doubt in anything about how to frame stories, anything you can ask, or else we'll start with our session. 'Cause- okay, yes, we'll start Bhagyalakshmi now. So anyone who would like to come first, or I will I will pick any random. Okay. So mhm. Okay. Saswat, would you like to go? Would you like to narrate first story of today's session? Saswat, are you here?
Saurabh, if Sashwat is not able to speak, then I shall go first.
Okay, that's great. So it's quite a regular picture, but uh, I am waiting for an interesting story in this picture, and the picture is this one.
All right. So shall I start?
Yes, of course.
All right. So in the picture, we can see that there is a woman standing. Her name is Ayushi, and the other guy who is trying to console the woman, his name is Amit. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Ayushi was standing in front of her house, and she was trying to visit somewhere. And
Okay.
when she came out, a lot of people. took over, and her purse, which she was carrying with her when she went out, it was stolen. She was not able to understand that how a large number of people came over and how someone mugged her purse. So the other person, a good Samaritan, Amit, he came over and he asked her, "What happened? What's the matter?" So Ayushi said that purse was stolen and she cannot understand that how she is supposed to deal with it. Amit told her to stay in this place for about 5 minutes and he will be back. Now, what happens is that Amit comes back after nearly 2 minutes and gives Ayushi the purse. Ayushi was very happy to know this, that how this person, a total stranger, came over and brought her items. Later, we find out that Amit was actually a superhero who was a good Samaritan, but trying to be with all the other people so that he will not be known. That is it.
Nice ending. Thank you, Bhagyalakshmi. Uh,
Thank you, Saurabh.
Deepak sir, would you like
Yes.
to go next? Okay, Ayush. Ayush. Okay,
Okay.
Ayush will go next. Uh, I would like to request everyone, if you can turn on your video while speaking, please do that. And now we have the second picture. Quite usual one. Uh,
Okay, Saurabh. Shall I start?
yes, Ayush.
Okay. So here this picture. So there are three characters. The first one, the which is fallen down in road, is Subham. The second one, which have a camera, the name was Tushar, and beside him, the another one is a Abhishek. Okay, so the scene is that in this is a basically there is a shooting going on, and the
Okay.
person with camera he is shooting the short film of on the road safety, on the road safety, and we see that there is a one bullock cart fallen down, and the man is lying in the floor. So because as we know there is a I think this is a travel in traffic light area and the car is not so any indicator, and that's why uh, they smash the bullock cart and the man is fallen down. And because they are basically social servants, so they're making a film about the road safety and all that. So that's why so after they making this video and put it into the social media, so all people are aware with all these safety rules and all these things. So that's it.
Nice one. Thank you, Ayush.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Uh, Next, Deepak sir.
Yes, Sarah.
Yes, sir. So the next picture is quite an interesting one, and whoa.
Yes, Sarah. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to speak in Hindi.
Completely fine,
So
sir.
यहाँ पास थ्री यहाँ पास तीन छात्र हैं जो कि स्काउटिंग में कैंप में शिविर में आए हैं, जिनका नाम है, फर्स्ट वाले का नाम अनुज, सेकंड है मंजीत और तीसरा है शशांक। तो तीनों शिविर में जाते हैं, एक ऐसी जगह पर जाते हैं जहाँ की पेड़ पौधे रहते हैं। तीनों जाते हैं और वहां पास कैंप में खूब मौज मस्ती करते हैं और अपना खुद का खाना बनाते हैं और खाते हैं। कुछ समय बाद उन लोग जब घूमने के लिए जाते हैं तो वहां पास तीनों देखते हैं कि एक पेड़, एक छोटा सा पौधा सूख गया है। उसे देख करके शशांक और मंजीत दोनों देखे तो, लेकिन उसको पानी देने के लिए, किसी प्रकार से सहायता के लिए वो आगे नहीं बढ़े। लेकिन अनुज ने देखते ही आगे बढ़ा और उस पौधे को पानी दिया और साथ ही साथ उसके आसपास की साफ सफाई भी किया। और इस तरह से अनुज ने स्काउट के 9 नियमों में से एक, स्काउट प्रकृति प्रेमी होता है का, को सत्यापित किया। दैट्स इट सर।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was good. Okay. Rajkishore, would you like to go next?
Yes.
Okay. So, a picture is aha, boom.
Okay, Tammy.
Yes.
In this picture, I perceived four characters. Uh, story and my story is uh, Sudhir. Sudhir, who belonged to a poor family, was the eldest son of his parents, and he had a younger brother, two younger brothers, and his father was finding it difficult to provide education to all the three. So Sudhir decided to get a job at the earliest opportunity and share the responsibility of home. But with his academic qualification, he could not get a job. But he was always hopeful and believed that it is the hope which sustains life. So he thought over it and decided to learn shorthand typing, and joined an institution. Sorry, joined a joined a coaching so that he can improve his typing speed. And he thought over it and decided to uh, and he worked hard and improved his speed. And after that, he applied for a post of PA in farm, and based on his performance in the written and practical test, he was called for interview where he gave a good where he get a good account of himself. Ultimately, he was selected for the post and started helping his parents and ensured that his two brothers, could get proper education without worry. Uh, that's all, sir.
Uh, you just portrayed a story of a man. Wow. Thank you, Rajkishore. Yeah. Saswat, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for you, picture is. Oh, oh. Okay. Nice one.
Saurabh, can I start?
Yes, Saswat, of course.
Okay, so we see in picture two school boys and a man. The man's name is Mohan, and the two boys are Akash and Dorendra.
Okay.
So Mohan has a garden where he has many mango trees. One day during a storm, the boundary wall broken down, and when Akash and Doresh saw that going to school, they thought about stealing mangoes, and they went there. They stole mangoes, and when Mohan saw that, he got very angry and beat them and tied them to a tree. But when his anger cooled down, he thought about his actions and thought that because of his anger, they just missed their school and how he badly treated them. So he he went to the tree where he tied them and he spoke to them very softly and gave them some mangoes and he scolded them very softly that this think about their actions and uh, how how difficult it is to manage a garden. After that, both Akash and Doreen helped him make the boundary again, and this is how the story ended.
Nice one, actually. You displayed the anger and this love of a typical Indian father that we experience many a times. Thank you, Shashwat. And next, Vapak, would you like to go next?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
Okay. So for you, we
Am
have
I the only
one.
one left now?
No, Tushar is also left.
Okay.
So for you, we have also an interesting picture, and that's so. Oh, okay.
Okay, Saurabh.
Yes.
Okay, so that okay, so we can see three main characters here. So the first one, I'd call him IPS Amit Thoda, right? So he's an IPS officer. He's the superintendent of a police in a district in Bihar. The other guy is Horlicks, and the third one is Horlicks' son Rohan. All right. So this is a story from from 90s where when the crime rate in Bihar was at its peak. So this man Horlicks uh, had arranged for money to get his son admitted to a private school. So while returning, as I've already told that the crime rate was at its peak in Bihar, so some of the local loots, they came to know the fact that he has got some cash, so they looted him, and also they they beat up his son and him. So now he approached IPS Amit Lora that this and this has happened, and the admission. Today is the last day to get my son admitted to the private school, and I'm not able to do because such and such thing has happened. So then this IPS officer, IPS Amit Lora, tried to contact the school, tried to contact the school principal, but the school principal wouldn't budge. Right? He was, school principal said that rules are rules, rules are for everyone. But then the entire village, as you can see, the entire village, they were with Horlicks, right? They felt for Horlicks. So in order to give moral support, the entire village accompanied Horlicks and his son to the to the school, and they requested the principal, and at the end the principal allowed them more time, and finally the police was able to track down the criminals, track down the loots, and then they recovered the money, and the son was finally admitted to the school.
Wow. These characters, man. I heard them second time and I can't stop myself laughing after hearing these names. Thank you, Apak.
Yes, many people are writing, is it about the Horlicks powder? I'll tell you, Horlicks was a real criminal in
Gangster.
Bihar, and
Yeah,
he was a
gangster.
very powerful criminal, one of the most notorious in his times.
Yeah, you can read the story in Amit Lorhasa's book. And now, next up, we have Tusar, the last man left. And for him, the story is this one.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, Tusar.
All right. So in this picture, there is a boy looking. The name of this boy is Sumit, and he belongs to a very unprivileged kind of family who who don't who whose family works on daily wages, so they can't afford they can't afford Sumit to go and study in the school. So Sumit is working as an electrician to earn some daily wages. Then after during his work time, he fell down from the upside, and one of his leg got damaged, and doctors say that this man Sumit can't be able to walk again. He was an enthusiastic guy, and he didn't lost his hope, and he did his best. Then he got he got he, he got to know about sports as well. Then he find his interest in javelin throw, and then he started practicing it. Although one of his leg is damaged, still he he didn't lost hope and start doing javelin throw. After 4 years, when he turned 23, he he got a chance to feature India in Paralympics game Tokyo 20. Then he took part in the javelin throw and broken his world record 3 times. And the name of this player is Sumit Antil, who won gold medal in Paralympics Tokyo 2020. So that's my story. Thank you.
Nice one, Tushar. Thank you. And since we all are completed from our first round and we heard many of these interesting stories, so I would request all of you to pick up one speaker you thought was best, and we will pick three speakers who got most votes. And in the name of Olympics, Bhagyalakshmi voted Tushar. Wow. Tushar is one of the best storyteller we have in LOK, Rajkishore. Literally, his stories are commendable. And today, yes, I can see that in chat, Vyapak. So these guys are selected for next round, and others who aren't going to participate in this round, don't lose hope. At last, you have to vote for the best, and search a picture for me. So your work starts now. So Raj Kishore, would you like to go next?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have, oops. Raj Kishore, are you ready?
Uh, yes.
Okay.
uh, and my story is in this picture. I perceive two characters. Uh, First one is female of age about 18 to 22, and one male person of age 22, nearly 22. And the story begins with after after completion of BSc. Sorry, and and the story is Aruna was BSc.
Okay.
Aruna was doing BSc nursing,
Hmm.
and on nursing day, they have to play a small role of how. Please give me some time. can you please change the picture?
Yeah,
Shall I
yeah.
go with this picture?
Yes. Okay, that's good. Yes, Ayush, you can start.
Okay, okay. So this is a picture, and this is a scene of hospital. Okay, the lady, this is a nurse. The name was Minal, and the male person is her name was Sanjay. Okay, the another one which is lying in the this bed. This one is the name was the Ayush. Okay, so the scene is that the Ayush is a very sick because of his stomach pain, and it has some operation going on. So the operation is very critical that he has died also or he is live also. So there is a very few percent of chance that he live. But that Sanjay is a basically doctor, and he achieved this, and he saved the life of Ayush. Now they are going to take Ayush to her mother, and because they cover their face because they want to give a surprise to her mother that your son is alive now. That's why they cover the face of Ayush, and they take to the her mother. That's it. So his mother was so happy to see her child alive because there is a very few chance.
Yeah, that face covering one was wow. Okay, nice one, Ayush. Thank you. And so for Raj Kishore, after lots of laugh, we have a picture. Ah, quite crazy one. So, are you up, Raj Kishore?
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Once and okay, my story start with in this picture I perceived four character and one aircraft.
Okay.
And my story is once an army team which had gone to scale Kanchenjunga was lost due to untimely heavy snowfall, and for their rescue, a team was being formed for which uh, okay, and the senior most and the senior most and the senior most person in this picture was Rohan, and being the senior most, he was he and being the senior most, he took the map from the aircraft and studied the map route and chart and the type of terrain and collected the required information, and he called his and he called every person, and after that take all the necessary requirements and equipments. After that they started after that they started what, a tough march in the mountain for 8 hours. They were able to locate the standard mountaineers, and they were trapped between a high cliff and the access was difficult. Uh, Rohan decided to make a rope bridge and put his team on the task. With great effort, they succeeded, and one by one, all the mountaineers were brought safely where they where they where they were equipped with a helicopter. That's all.
Eh, Thank you, Raj Kishore. A typical story of army school students can't end without this army thing. Okay, uh, now we have Tushar, and for Tushar, we have one interesting picture. Looks like a typical picture of an Indian serial.
So shall I start?
Yes, Tushar.
So this is a scene where a boy and his father and mother are shown. So the name of boy is Rajveer. So they the scene is they visited to see a girl to marry Rajveer.
Okay.
Their parents their their parents are of very old thinking, and they believe that taking dowry and some incentives while during marriage is legal, and there is no issues with that. But when Rajvi talked to the girl whom he is going to marry, she talked about the financial problems they are facing since her father is a farmer and her mother is a housewife, and they can't afford dowry to give them. So the parents of Rajveer decided that not to marry this girl with Rajveer. Then Rajveer took a responsibility and talked and talked calmly with his parents that this is totally illegal and marriage is like a gift of God, and we should respect them, and we should not demand such kinds of cheap things and we should not broke marriage for such kind of cheap things. Then after some discussions for some minutes, their parents too agreed with the point of Rajveer, and then their marriage is finally being fixed. So that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Tushar. Typical story of Indian marriages. So, okay.